Hey guys, I was recently asked how to connect this weave to our stone, so I'm going to show you guys that today. Excuse the Gorilla Glue all over my mat here, but I'm going to be using a piece of 18 gauge square wire. This one is roughly 11 inches, which is probably a little bit too long. And then we have 4 pieces of 18 gauge square wire, and these ones are roughly 15 inches long. And then I'm going to be weaving with 28 gauge wire. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the smaller wire, and this is the one that's going to sit on the back of the stone. So you're going to want this wire to sit not fully the size of the stone, just a little bit smaller. So I'm going to take this little gadget, which as you can see is a little bit smaller, and I'm just going to wrap it around this piece here. And then I'm going to use my pliers and bend these little pieces in so it's going to look just like this. And then I'm going to take a piece of half round wire. You can use your 28 gauge if you like, but you just want to secure these 2 pieces together here. It'll look something like this. And then I'm going to cut the tail pieces off and just clamp it down with my pliers. It's going to look just like this. You don't have to do this part, but I like to. So I take my steel block and a hammer, and I just hammer this down so it's nice and flat. It's going to look just like this, and then as you can see, it's just a little bit smaller than our stone. Now it's time to start the weave. So you're going to have your 4 pieces of wire. And now that I've started, I realize 15 inches is a little bit too long, so I'm going to cut these down. To start the weave, I'm going to wrap the 28 gauge 4 times around the first wire, and then I'm going to take my second wire and stick that on there, and then I'm going to wrap it around twice, just like so, and then do the same with the other 2 wires, wrapping it around twice. And it will look like this, and then you're going to go back 2, 2, and 2 all the way back down. When I get down to this bottom wire, I'm going to wrap around 3 times and then continue. All right, now I have 3 of these done. Now this is the most crucial part. This is what's going to help attach this weave to your stone. So I'm going to take this base wire, I'm going to go around 1 time, and then I'm going to pull it around and leave some length this time, just like so. And then I'm going to wrap it 2 more times. So you can hear my dog snoring underneath my desk. And it's going to look just like this. So you're going to have this little tail here. So then you're going to repeat this 3 more times, leave a tail, 3 more times, leave a tail. And don't forget to, as you're going along, you're going to want to take your weave and you're going to take your pliers and you're just going to squish it down so it looks nice and crisp. But I'm going to finish this and then I will show you the rest of the set. And then once you're finished the weave, it's going to look like this. So again, every third, I've left this tail on there. Now to wrap the weave around the stone. Also, you're going to make sure that these tail ends are not facing this way. You want them out this way, so they're going to be at the back. And now that I have it sized to fit my stone, I did take one of the 4 wires and bent it and squished it down with my pliers. And now I'm going to secure the stone in place. I'm just going to put it in here, flip this around, and then take our other piece that we made and hold it onto the back. And I'm going to want this facing up because I'm going to add these 2 wires into the bail. And then I'm going to take these little tails and I'm going to feed it underneath this part here. And you can use your pliers if it's a little bit too tight to grab with your fingers. And then I'm not going to secure it fully yet because I want to make sure it's even all the way around. So I'm just going to bend this way and then I'm going to go all the way around. Also, your wires can become twisted here, so it's at this point that you want to make sure that you're grabbing these and making sure everything's nice and straight. And now that we have those on, we're going to go back and forth, alternating from this side to this side, making sure it's nice and tight. And then we're just going to feed these through a couple more times and continue the process until they're all in, making sure that you don't twist your wire at the same time. And just like that, your stone is now secure on your weave. You can either cut the tails off here, or you can build your bail and bend it over and then use these tails to secure the bail to the back. And that is how I connect my weave. And now I'm going to go and finish the bail and finish the rest of this piece. I hope this helps. Thanks for watching.